Today we're going to stamp. I want to use the same set that we did last week when we made these cards using the die cuts from Blossoms in Bloom. But today we're going to actually use the stamp set. Few housekeeping things to start with. This is the new catalog. I've delivered most of them over the last week or so. And if you need a catalog and you don't have one, please let me know and I will get one to you. If you do order over my website and your order is less than $150, please use this host code. You enter it at the end of your order. It asks for host code, and just enter this code. It's good for June 3rd through July 3rd. I think it's a month. And I will send you a little reward. If your order is $150 or more, you get your own Stampin' Rewards from Stampin' Up! Directly on your order at that time. So they are having a couple of promotions this month to celebrate the new catalog. One is if your order is $250 or more, you get an additional $25 in Stampin' Rewards. Now this is beside the 10% Stampin' Reward that you get on your regular order. You'll get this additional 25. Sorry, my voice is hoarse. I have allergies. Also, there is a promotion if you'd like to join me and my team. You don't have to do any classes. You do not have to teach. You do not have to sell anything. There is a quarterly minimum that you do have to meet, but that is the only requirement. And if you don't meet it, you get an extra month to get your quota, and if you don't, then they just drop you. And you can join again later if you want. They have a new promo this month that's called Pick a Free Bundle Starter Kit Promotion. So in your $99 starter kit, you get a paper pumpkin kit. You get $99 worth of any merchandise that you want to add to your starter kit, whether it be all stamps, whether it be ink pads and stamps, or a Stamparatus, or tools, anything that you find in the catalog that you would like. But you also get to add a free bundle. And one of the ones that I think is going to be really popular is this jar of flowers and the jar punch. So this would be considered a bundle, or this would be considered a bundle. The stamp set, Blossoms in Bloom, and the dies. That would be considered a bundle. When you order a bundle, you get an automatic 10% off if it's a new bundle in the catalog. If it's an old bundle that they carried over to the next catalog, it's no longer 10% off if you get both the dies and the stamp set. It's only for new bundles that are in the catalog. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is the Paper Pumpkin kit subscription. If you'd like to try it, you can do it 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, a year. If you decide that you don't think you want the upcoming kit that's supposed to be mailed, then you can suspend your subscription for a month, and then it automatically goes back to the next, starts back up the next month. This one is called Share Sunshine, and the premise of it was to fill it up with goodies for a friend who could need a little bit of cheering up. So share sunshine. I can't say that one time, let alone 10 times fast. And always The date, you have to get your subscription in by June 10th if you want to get that month's subscription. Otherwise, say if you joined June 11th, you would get the first kit that you would get would be in July. Okay, so I think I've told you everything that I need to tell you, so why don't we get stamping? And this is the first time I've done a stamping by video, so let's see how this goes. Okay, we're going to set up our stamp, and I'm going to use the Stamparatus. And the reason why I'm going to use the Stamparatus is because it allows you, if you don't get a good image when you stamp your first time, you can re-ink it and do it over again. So, and you can use the back of the plate. You can see that I have the stamp set up, the big flower stamp set up on the back side, and then the little flowers and the leaves that come in that set on the back of the plate. So it just goes in like that, and we're going to stamp on Whisper White cardstock that I have cut. And the beauty of the card that we're going to make today is we're going to stamp once, but it'll make 2 cards. So you've done half the work and you get double the benefit. So I'll get this lined up where I want it. And I usually stamp in the corner. Some people don't like to because they think they don't get as crisp of an image over on the where the hinge is. But this doesn't go all the way to the hinge, so I think we'll be fine. Now, our color palette that we're going to use today is Seaside Spray, Night of Navy, Mango Melody, and Granny Apple Green. And let me open up these ink pads. And I usually take my stamp set and put it underneath my plate. And it seems like it gives me a flatter surface to stamp on. So I'm going to stamp this in Seaside Spray. Now, before I stamp this, I'm going to take some Night of Navy, and we're going to sponge daub with a little dauber. We're going to sponge daub some color around the center of the flower. Just gives a little bit of depth. And you could do this with many other color combinations like Gorgeous Grape and Highland Heather, or Pool Party and Coastal Cabana. But I love this Seaside Spray color. It's just so soft and pretty. Okay, so I have those all daubered. And now we're going to stamp that over on our cardstock. And you can see that I got a little bit of ink on the plate, but that's not going to touch the paper. So that's another beauty of stamping with the Stamparatus. I know many times I have stamped with the block and got ink on the corner or something, and then when I went to stamp, I end up getting ink on my cardstock where I don't want it. And that's gorgeous. Now, if it didn't ink, if you missed a spot or something and you wanted to redo it, just re-ink your stamp and stamp it again with the Stamparatus. That's why it's so fabulous. I'm going to clean the stamp really quickly. with the chamois. Gets in all those little grooves. I'll clean the plate where I had the extra ink on there. Bonus ink. And then we're going to flip this around. And we're going to stamp the flowers and the leaves on here. Now, I think I put this, okay, I'm going to stamp these with the block for now. And I'm going to use Mango Melody to do the flowers. And I'm going to put one if I can get a hold of it. I'm going to put one about right here. I'm going to put one over here. Doesn't matter if it kind of goes off the edge of your page, it's fine. I'm going to put one down here and maybe one about right there. Clean that off real quick. Then I'm going to take, I'm going to close this so I don't stick my elbow in it. I'm going to take the Granny Apple Green and we're going to add a few leaves. I'm going to put a big leaf down here and I'm going to put a big leaf up here. And like I said, it's okay if it goes off the page. Clean that real quick. And then we're going to stamp the smaller green leaf. We're going to tuck one in about here. And we'll tuck one in about here. And maybe one more. About there. Okay, clean that. Then I'm going to take, I think we're finished with the green, so I'm going to close it up. Then we're going to take this little center and we're going to use Night of Navy and we're going to put centers in the middle of the small flowers. Clean that. And then we'll take Night of Navy and we'll put the centers in the larger flowers. Okay. Now we're finished with this, except I think I'm going to add a little bit of dimension, and I need a piece of scrap paper here, or let me just take this off of the Stamparatus. So we're pretty much done with that. And I'm going to use this and put my card on it. And I'm going to take my Stampin' Write marker and I'm going to take it and I'm just going to flick it on the edge of the cap. And it just puts a little bit of spots. Somehow I did pick up a little bit of ink over here, so I'm going to just do, and by adding the spritzing, as I'm going to call it, you can't tell that it wasn't supposed to be there. And that's all there is to it. It doesn't hurt your marker. Okay, now I'm going to just blow this to make sure it's dry. And I'm going to cut this in half. Here's my Stampin' Up! Trimmer. And this is 4 1/4, so I'm going to cut this at 2 1/8. And I get 2 pieces. Now, we're going to make this into a fun fold card. Fancy fold, whatever you want to call it. And our base is just a piece of 5 1/2 by 4 1/4 cardstock. You could use a base where you folded, like if you wanted to stamp on the inside of this layer, but I just did this as the backing because we're going to add another fold. So this card, we can either do the white layer. Oops, that one's too big. We can either layer this with white. We'll do this one with white. And I like to use the Tombow glue because, don't go all the way to the edge, it gives me time to place my layer and wiggle it around until I get it where I want it. So that looks about right. Okay, our next layer is a strip that's 11 inches by 2 3/8. Use my bone folder to that down. Now I'm going to take one of the panels that we cut and I'm going to adhere it to the front of this strip. And this is going to sit on here just like this. And then this will open. So this is where you'll put your greeting if you wish. You don't really have to, I guess. Or if you wanted to write a note. So I'm going to put this on our card. Try to get that centered. Okay, I think that's pretty close. And then we're going to add our stamped layer. Now this card, I don't know if I told you, I saw another demo named Patty Bennett had done this card, and I just fell in love with it. It was so pretty. And okay, now we're going to use a little bit of ribbon, and I don't know whether we want to use the blue. This is the Misty Moonlight, one of the new in colors, or the yellow gingham. Why don't we try the yellow gingham with this one? And I'm going to tie this around this flap. See how good I can tie a bow on a video. That might be not a wise choice, but we'll see. We'll try it. I'm not usually the best at tying bows. I used to always have one of my stamp friends tie my bows. Well, not too bad. Now let's just fuss with it a little bit. Shorten my bows. Oh, I think that actually looks decent. We'll fluff it up a little bit. Okay, and then angle the ribbon. A little bit more. And this gingham is in the new catalog. Do that to the side. And maybe pull it down a little bit. Okay. And then we're going to add a greeting. I'm going to use these for my stamp group, their orders for this month. So we're going to use the phrase "thank you" that's in this Blossoms and Bloom stamp set. I used the stitched die. It's about 2 and I think it's 2 1/8 inches wide. And then we're going to use the 2 1/4 inch circle punch to make a background layer for it. And then we're going to stamp "thank you," and I'm going to use close these stamp pads. I keep trying to stick my hands in them. Mango Melody, sorry, I'm sticking my hands in the camera. Mango Melody we're going to use to stamp this "thank you." Now, the photopolymer stamps better when you use a pad. So I have a, I don't know where my other one is. This is a new one, and I just stuck it in the ink. So I'm going to stamp this "thank you" in the middle. Perfect. And I'm going to adhere that, get rid of this. I'm going to adhere this to the navy. And by using the glue, I can wiggle it around until I see if I have it centered. And then I think I'm going to put that right here. Move my bow over just a little bit so that it hangs off the side. So I'm just going to put my adhesive on the side. And I'm not going to go all the way across because it would stick to the bottom layer. Okay, and then we're going to add a little bit of bling. We're going to use some of the enamel dots from the new In Colors. This is the Misty Moonlight, and we'll just add, we'll sprinkle a few. Around our card. And then we have our other piece still here, so we're going to try something different on this one. We're going to use the navy, and we're going to use Mango Melody for the second layer. Okay, and then we have our center layer. I'm going to fold this with my bone folder so it doesn't stick up. And I always like to do my, if I use my bone folder, on the back, because sometimes it can like leave a little bit of a shine on your card. So I'm going to put that to the back. Which side is the bottom? Okay. Okay, and then we're going to adhere half of our stamped image to the top. And let's see, I don't know if this is one of the new in colors. It's called Bumblebee, so it's not Mango Melody like this is. So I think we might use the blue on this one. Tie the bow. If I can get it to stay there. Might need just a little bit more ribbon. Okay, now make it a little bit smaller. Just hold on to the center of your bow when you pull the ends. Okay, and then we'll stamp our thank you. Our Mango Melody. Now I just stuck my fingers in the ink. And then we're going to punch another circle. Adhere this to our navy blue layer, or I guess I should say Night of Navy. And just like the last time, we will, let's put this one on this side. And then we'll finish it up with a little bit of bling. And there's a second version. So which one do you like the best? The Mango Melody and the navy blue layer, or the white and the blue layer? And then if you want, you can add a white layer here, like we did on this one. Oh, I didn't put it on there. Let's see, do I have a, yep, I have a piece cut here. So we have thank you, or birthday, or whatever occasion that you need a card for, and then You could write your note inside. Or like I said, you could skip making this a fold here and just make it a layer, and then make this into a regular card that you would open like this, and you could add a greeting in here. So that's our cards for today. I hope you liked them. Again, that is the Blossoms in Bloom stamp set. I hope that's not glaring for you. But they do have several greetings. Happy birthday. Hello. Thank you. Sure do miss you. Thinking of you. I like you a lot. Get well soon. So it's pretty functional. Thanks, everybody. I hope you liked the cards. Please leave me a comment on the video if you like these cards. Thank you. Bye-bye.